wanted to do a video about my basically recapping my 2020 and talking about my intentions for 2021. So, being that tonight is the last full moon of 2020, the cold moon in Cancer, I just wanted to kind of reflect on my year and all the lessons that I've learned throughout this year and how I intend on spending my 2021, I guess. So, the first lesson that I learned in 2020 was to be grateful. So, meaning that things happened kind of fast with the pandemic. All of a sudden, it started to get serious slowly, and then all of a sudden, it was like everything was shut down, couldn't go anywhere. Just all the luxuries that we never considered were taken away from us. And that taught me to be grateful. To be grateful for being able to go out to restaurants, to the grocery store, to stores and movies and the mall, without masks and without having to be nervous about getting sick. It was something that I think we all took for granted, even myself, especially me. So I know for me, it taught me to be grateful for the little things. And then also to stay present. So, being that we were in quarantine and there wasn't really much to do, I had a lot of time on my hands. So, it taught me to stay in the present moment. It taught me to try and focus on what's in front of me, what I can control, and the things that I wanted to get done, and try to be less in my head. The other thing was to let people help you or help me. So, just in general, the type of person that I am, I will always want to help people. I want to give, I want to help, I want to fix. That's just who I am. And so, allowing people to play that role for me is sometimes uncomfortable and hard for me. So, being that in 2020 I had, a health condition or a health situation that caused me to need to lean on people, which I will explain in another video at a later date. It taught me to allow people to do for me, which was very hard. It was hard to not be able to do things for myself and to have to ask other people to help me. So it taught me to ask for help, and it's okay to ask for help and receive help even if you haven't asked for it. Another thing was, it was a test of faith, and I think this goes for a lot of people. 2020 was a test of their faith. It's like, why are we going through this? What is happening? Like, just so many different things. It was anxiety provoking, all those different things. And so it taught me to have faith that there is a reason for this. As unfortunate and terrible as it is, there can be some good that comes out of this. And so I have to have faith that the things that I personally am going through, as well as, being in this pandemic, I can make them be purposeful. I can make the best of this time. And then just to be courageous, to try different things, to start this vlog, to be open, to allow people into my life and see me is very nerve-wracking for me. This is something that is uncomfortable for me, but very necessary. And so 2020 taught me to just go for it, because you never know what's gonna happen. So I don't want to wait anymore to do the things that I have always wanted to do or thought about doing. I just want to do them now. And also to appreciate my family, appreciate that they are healthy. I appreciate they have been healthy throughout this entire pandemic. Nobody has thankfully gotten sick or passed. And so I appreciate my family being here and healthy and with me in my life. to also take calculated risks. Again, that goes along with just not knowing what life will bring. You never know when things are going to change, and so to take calculated risks and to weigh the pros and cons and still be willing to try something even if it may not go the way that I think it's going to go. Another thing would be to slow down and focus. So obviously when we were in lockdown, everybody had to stop. Everybody had a lot of time on their hands. Some people were able to use it wisely. Some people had a harder time. Either way is valid. Nobody can really tell you how you're supposed to react in a situation like this. So I say, however you handled it, you did the best that you could do. I mean, there was no guide or handbook on how to handle a pandemic. So people just did the best that they could do. Some people were productive and, were reflective and made a lot of progress. And some people just made it to the end of the year, and that's okay too. But for me, I was able to do a lot of reflecting, a lot of growing, a lot of just refocusing, recentering on myself, and learning about myself and different things. And I started taking Brazilian Portuguese lessons because that's something that I've been wanting to do for a long time. So I finally made that a priority, and it's been fun, and it's allowed me to make new friends in different countries and practice a new skill and do something that I am interested in. And then another thing that I learned in 2020 was to allow people to walk their own journeys. So as I said, I'm a helpful person, and sometimes what I deem as help is actually not helpful to the other person. They don't need me to fix their situation or add my opinion and all those types of things. And so I'm learning more and more about myself. I know that I am opinionated, but my opinion is not always necessary. And so I had to learn, and I am still learning, how to allow people to walk their own journey, to be their own person, to have it look how they need it to look without my input or my, even if it's in a helpful, innocent way and it's not intended to be malicious or harmful, it still may not be necessary. So being that I've had a lot of time with my family in close quarters, it has caused us to learn how to relate in a different way, learn how to get past arguments and disagreements and just daily annoyances. We're in the house together all day, every day for all these months. We're bound to get on each other's nerves. We're bound to bump heads. And it forced us to figure out how to get past those things and have healthier relationship dynamics. So it's still a work in progress. It's still something that I'm working on personally. My family is working on. I am working on, in regards to my family, just letting them be who they are. And that is my intention. Just for the rest of my life, is to allow people to meet people where they are and allow them to write their own stories. And I don't need to tell them or give them guidance unless they ask for it. So those are some of the top things that I can just think of that I've learned in 2020 with the pandemic, is just to be grateful, to be present, to focus, and to be courageous. Some of the tougher parts of 2020 for me were being quarantined, and being in the house all day was a lot. So I was working from home, staying with my niece. So everybody else was working out of the house, and I would have the house to myself with my niece and my older nephew, and we had a routine going. We had our daily thing going. And I'm already an introvert, so I don't like a lot of people around all the time. So it gave me time to just kind of, be in the house by myself. So to go from that to having everybody who lived in the house all day, every day, was a lot. It's very stressful on all of us. It was just a hard adjustment to deal with everybody's panic, anxiety, frustration. Like, we're all dealing with our own emotions and everybody else's. And it was just a lot. It was anxiety provoking for me. It was frustrating. It was like just all those different things. So that was a hard thing to go through, and it's getting better as time goes on. But we still have our moments. It's still hard to be limited in the things that you can do and outside of the house, and trying to find things to do and be safe and all those different things. You have to be precautious. So it's still something that we are trying to figure out, but I think we're doing much better than we were in the beginning of the pandemic. So yeah, my intentions for 2020 are to grow my brand. So starting this vlog, I Just Want to Be Spiritual, was a big step for me. It was something that I talked about a lot for a few weeks and went back and forth between how to do it, and my initial thought was to start a business, which is still on my brain. That is still a goal of mine. And then the idea came about of you doing a YouTube with my friend, but we decided it would be better to do our own thing. And so I just decided to just jump in, because I was just thinking and wanting to do it and planning on it, but I wasn't actually doing it or putting it out. And so I just had to force myself to sit down, record, and edit it and put it out. And that's what I did. And so that is my intention for 2021, is to continue to create content, continue to find ways to build my brand, so that I can keep doing what I am supposed to be doing. I feel like I'm fulfilling my purpose by doing this channel. So I want to continue doing that by just growing this brand and expanding it, so that I feel, I guess I don't really need to feel like, I don't need to feel validated externally, but I do want to feel like people are hearing what I have to say, and I do want to feel like I'm connecting with people, and I do want to feel like I'm reaching a certain audience, or I'm reaching people who need it. So there is that need for, or desire for, connection. So although of course I could continue doing it, making the content and all that stuff without people following me, but obviously the goal is to reach people. So my intention is to reach 100 followers and subscribers on my Instagram and on my YouTube by January of 2021. That is a goal. That's a tangible goal for me, and I'm sure that I can hit that goal. So that is my intention. And also to manifest my own space. So I am in the middle of a transitional period right now, where I will be moving from one home to another, and I am manifesting my own space, so that I can feel what it is like to be in my own energy, to be independent, to be on my own, to take care of myself financially and otherwise. That is going to be a big step for me, and it's also going to be very necessary for helping me to build confidence. So that is something that I'm manifesting in 2021, early 2021, spring, if not sooner. And then just finding new ways to keep people engaged in the YouTube has been a challenge just in itself right now. It's been hard for me to think of different topics and to feel like what I'm doing is meaningful and is reaching people, and just having all those doubts and stuff has been challenging. So my intentions for 2021 are to find new content that is engaging and that is also personal to me. And to launch the business side of I Just Want to Be Spiritual. So that will include offering crystals, healing tools, spiritual tools. When I become certified in Reiki healing, that is another intention that I have for 2021, is to become a certified Reiki 2 practitioner. Then I will offer sessions, and then, as years go on and I become licensed as a marriage and family therapist, then I will also offer that too. So it's a big idea and a big venture that I have, but I know that I am able to do it. So I can't wait to see how it's gonna look as it's moving forward, and see what next year will hold for that. As far as starting, even the YouTube, it has been fun, but it's also been challenging, just because I get discouraged sometimes if I feel like I'm not really reaching people, or people are not really engaged or interested in what I'm talking about. It can be very discouraging to want to keep going when you feel like nobody's really paying attention. It's hard to want to continue putting stuff out there, because sometimes honestly it feels like a waste of time, and that's my ego talking more, even because I know that it's not a waste of time, and I know that eventually it's going to reach the people that it's meant to reach. But it does get hard sometimes, just starting out and not knowing what's going to happen, and feeling like maybe things aren't moving fast enough. It gets hard to stay motivated sometimes, but I am determined to continue pushing forward, and thanking everybody who has been supporting me for the support, and just thinking of different ways to keep myself engaged and motivated to keep sticking to what I said I was going to do. So yeah, those are my intentions for 2021. Along with all those things, I am manifesting a job, a source of income that will allow me to be financially independent, stable, and secure. That is my intention. So I know that the universe has a great job lined up for me around the corner that I can work, that will support me and will support my needs as well as my wants, and will not only allow me to obtain my own space, my own apartment, but it will also allow me to support my brand and buy the things that I need to grow my brand and my business. So those are all the things that I intend on manifesting in 2021. This year, 2020, has been a doozy. It has not been easy for anybody by any means. I've had a lot of ups and downs this year, and I'm just looking to have a better 2021. And I'm hoping and I'm praying for the very best, that things will start to look up. I know it may be a slow trek, but I have faith that things are going to get better. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of share with you guys just a little recap of my year, my intentions for the new year. Of course, I will be coming up with new intentions as the year progresses, and maybe I can share those along the way. But for now, those are my main intentions for this new year. So I just wanted to share that with you guys on this last day of 2020. So happy new year, guys. Goodbye 2020. Thank you for the lessons. See you guys in 2021.